This is Duke University.
There is a lot of talk about the evolution of the utility business model. I think there's more than a half dozen states are actively studying what should the, I apologize for the air quotes, the utility of the future be. And I think what they're all trying to deal with is we all see the same societal pressures, demographic, technological factors. We all suspect the role for the utility in providing electrical and energy service to customers will have to change by virtue of every part of the value chain is probably going to evolve some. That's the cause for all the fear around what should the business model be. And I do think over the next 10 years, you'll see a lot of states in the U.S. try different things. Some will succeed, others will fail. I think we, as an industry, we have a series of trying to solve problems, perhaps in hindsight, a little bit more one at a time. And it's a terribly integrated system. You know, it's a network system that it has to be a network solution, and one customer's optimized solution might not work well for someone else, but it's a network. So I think over the next 10 years, clarity will emerge. You know, the industry has been through these transitions before. I don't think it's within a year or two. But I think a combination of all this technology, the ability to share price signals, and to let machine-to-machine control completely change consumption patterns holds enormous promise in our industry to use the system and the network more efficiently than ever before, give our customers everything that they want in a way that they don't have to stand over their technology and say, is it time to run the air conditioning? You know, but sort of machine-to-machine control, really with a lot of connected devices, getting value out of the network. That, I think, will be at the heart of the system. The pace of the technology is moving quickly enough. I think in the near future, we'll be at a point we're going to be able to use the network much more fully than we ever could in the past. Some of the issues that come along with renewables adoption and an increasing rate of renewables being deployed on the system that we're paying a lot of attention to is how will renewables be priced? I think that everyone comes from a perspective renewables may cost more today by some measures. It's all a function of metrics. But if they're desired by society, if they're desired by the customers, how can we make our way to sort of creating an environment where renewables can be adapted, put on the grid, used to serve customers, and pricing and price signals, obviously economically, always play a big role on that. So that may mean subsidies are a good idea to foster the adoption of renewables, and then the question becomes what kind of subsidy, how long, in what forms, who pays it, and those are all huge issues, but I think they all come from the same place, which is people intuitively feel like we want more renewables on the system, and if price is part of how you get them there, society will crave a way to sort of make that happen. As we think about all these changes going on in our traditional industry, it is important to think about how will our employees change, how will their skills change, how will our business processes change as we adopt more and more technology. We think of areas like the grid. We're going to have more and more smart, intelligent assets on the grid operating without human intervention. Every year that goes by, we'll be using more of that. It'll help us serve the customers more effectively. We can do it at a lower cost, serve them better. But our linemen are going to have to grow high-tech skills that they've never had to have before. They'll need new tools with them to diagnose all this automated equipment. They'll need to know how to service it, how to tell when it's performing right. So we have this issue. That's the lineman example. We have it in modeling. We have it in generation. We have it across our whole business in our customer care centers, where we have a lot of talented people today who've been there for a long time working with the tools they have. and they are optimized to do their jobs and serve the customers. The tools are changing, the environment's changing, the technology is changing, and we have to manage very thoughtfully. How do we change our people? And that's a combination of skills and training for the people that we have. But for the people we have who aren't going to stay, everyone leaves at some point, I'm told. Everyone leaves at some point. And people have all this knowledge. What is it that you do when a storm is approaching? What are the right ways to make sure customers don't go out? We have to preserve all that corporate knowledge, build it into a system so that we don't lose all the benefit we've accumulated over time.